Did you know there's a real forbidden door? That didn't make any sense, but it's true. Because while the annual AEW NJPW pay-per-view is an amazing crossover, sometimes wrestlers just take it on themselves to go to other promotions. Yep. Everybody melts down. So hello my friends, welcome to the video. I am Simon from What Culture and please do subscribe. And this is 10 times wrestlers secretly went undercover in other companies. Number 10, Bobby Fish returns to NXT. Kinda. In November 2022, we found out that Bobby Fish was backstage at NXT. He was joined by Anthony Green, and while lots of sports entertainers will visit friends backstage, don't forget that NXT doesn't tour, so you do have to go out of your way to do this. But also, Bobby, in interviews, had been very vocal during this period. Because despite his run in All Elite Wrestling, he mentioned how awesome Triple H was, and yeah, it sounded like he would be very happy with a return. Now let's not forget this dude can go as well, I don't want to pretend otherwise. But it hasn't happened by the time I'm speaking, and right now, Fish is smashing it in Impact. Oh, I guess you can just go see him there. Number 9, Trinity scouts the competition. The former Naomi left WWE in the summer of 2022. Eventually she landed in Impact Wrestling and so far has been a mega asset because that knockout division's rocks. Before this though, we did get a Trinity sighting elsewhere however, and this felt like a big thing because she was front and center at Super Card of Honor. It felt like she was checking out women's champion Athena as she fought Yuka Sakazaki, which soon had more truth. Because Athena talked about this after, talked about their friendship and how she was there for support, but yes, they'd love to have a bit of a wrestle. We should absolutely do that match though. It'll rock. Number 8, Scorpio Sky gets impacted. Until AEW Collision surfaced, Scorpio Sky was missing. He'd had a pretty good run in All Elite Wrestling when he lost the TNT title, and we never saw him again. Nobody told us why. It was weird. It was the announcement of the new Saturday show which brought him back to the foreground, but at Impact's No Surrender 2023 pay-per-view, have a guess who was backstage? That's right, Mr. Sky. I think he wanted this in the ether too, as a picture with him and Chris Bay made it to the internet, and look, we don't know, but given Scorpio did feel like he wasn't going to get back on AEW TV, maybe he was just seeing what the deal was. Number 7, the Righteous are not with Bray Wyatt. Do you remember this rumor? It got so out of control, some places reported it as confirmed. But no, it wasn't. It all tied into WWE rehiring a lot of talent in 2022, and maybe the biggest of all was one Bray Wyatt. It was kind of odd they released him in the first place, especially because he was a merchandise selling machine. Usually WWE loves that so much they'll keep you around. Bray also had a brand new Twitter handle called the Wyatt 6, which sparked into life as many a wrestling fan decided to fantasy book who could be in the group. We had Liv Morgan, Joe Gracie, and Alexa Bliss being the front runners, and of course Bo Dallas felt like a lock because they came out of the same womb. From nowhere though, all of a sudden the Righteous were involved, and this was Ring of Honor's Dutch and Vincent. I do understand it as well because they're totally the type of characters you'd put in a stable with Bray, and sure, we all doubled down on this when who was in the audience on the 6th of December NXT? I'm sure you can figure it out. Now, the broadcast team didn't mention this, but it was out there that they were having a WWE tryout, so maybe this was just an Easter egg we were going to revisit down the line. But again, no, it didn't happen. Maybe we don't know the whole story here, but even if we don't, classic wrestling. Number 6, Robbie McAllister makes a mistake. Or did he? I don't think so. All he did was just go to a wrestling show. Back in 2008, though, we did have the Highlanders in WWE, and I suppose they were all right. We all know that Vince McMahon isn't massively into tag team wrestling, so when you do have a stereotypical Scottish pairing, well, that's only going to go so far. Robbie McAllister likely felt this way, but still loved him some sports entertainment, so in March he went and watched a TNA TV taping with his son. Problem is, when their production team spied this, they put him on camera and identified him. Oh no. When he went back to his employer though, sheesh. JBL was booked to basically murder him as he was involved in a series of squash matches, and 6 months after was let go. There's a lot that's uncool in this one. It's not even like WWE and TNA ever had a proper war anyway. Number 5, Moose takes over NXT. I would like to see Moose in WWE. I think he would find his way, although that man seems very happy in Impact Wrestling. He has become a proper world champion there, and he is a big deal. Maybe that doesn't happen if he made the jump. He spoke about this in 2021 when he signed a new deal and admitted that both AEW and WWE had fielded offers. He took a good old time trying to figure out what to do. I mean, it's not so bad when you have 3 promotions coming after you. If we do go further back than this, though, and get to NXT TakeOver The End, there was a bunch of reports that Moose was backstage at the event. While the spin once again that he was just visiting friends, this was the same time Bobby Roode and Eric Young were also there, and shortly afterwards they were signed up. I think that's a coincidence. It was actually 1 month after this he did sign with Impact, and we do know the rest. That dude has had a very good career. As I'm talking to you, he just signed with Impact once again. Number 4, Ricky Starks gets snapped at the Royal Rumble. So this is gonna blow your mind, so you better be sitting down. But when somebody leaves one promotion and goes to the other, they still have friends in wrestling. I know, crazy. This is what happened to Ricky Starks over Royal Rumble weekend because, yep, he is buddies with one Cody Rhodes. They were pals in AEW. They're still now pals that he's in WWE. Somebody better write an article. It all got out of control, however, because somebody took a picture of Ricky walking backstage with Cody and decided the normal thing to do was to release it on the internet. Given that it looked like security camera footage, I don't think that's legal. It sparked the rumor mill because surely this meant Starks was going to WWE, but no. He just wanted to be present when the American Nightmare experienced one of his biggest career wins to date. I thought this was such a shame, as I would guess that nobody now does this again. I mean, who wants to deal with that fallout? Number 3, CM Punk and Giselle Shaw go strong style. CM Punk has made a lot of headlines in 2023, but the man is a big deal, hence why when he was spied at New Japan Strong Battle in the Valley event, it made more headlines. This was before we knew he was 100% returning to AEW, so that was fun. And because he was with Impact Giselle Shaw, we even went as far to say that maybe Punk was heading in a different direction. A bunch of pictures then did the rounds, and somebody must have told Kenta as he made sure to send some sign language in his direction. But here's the twist. He was just there to watch some sports entertainment, like the Mercedes Moné who was in her comeback run. I thought that was super cool. Number 2, CM Punk does it again. And this time he was at Impact. Hopefully you can see the connection. Now this does tie into entry number 1 that we'll talk about in just 1 second, but in April 2023, with all the chats between CM Punk and AEW ongoing, the voice of the voiceless did turn up backstage at Impact. It seemed like he was just there to say hello, especially to Trinity and Mercedes Moné, because they got spotted too. In hindsight, however, this may also have been some kind of publicity stunt, because, number 1, CM Punk returns to WWE. Sort of. This happened in the same month of everything we just talked about, and my word, this one blew up the world. The real story, when you piece it together, sounds like Punk was on a plane with a bunch of WWE superstars who convinced him to come to Raw and say hi. He did this, found Triple H and asked if he could stay longer, but when Legal realized the situation he had with AEW, they said no, because that was a powder keg. Tapping up is a very real thing. You can just imagine this reaction though, because everybody decided this was CM Punk tried to wiggle his way back to WWE, but I doubt it. It did certainly come out of nowhere, and I like to think this is how his WWE relationship ends, just in the oddest way possible. Know of any other times wrestlers secretly went undercover in other companies? Make sure you let us know in the comments below before you like the video, share the video, and subscribe. Then head over to whatculture.com where you can keep up to date with all the latest wrestling news. Follow us on social media at Simon316 and WhatCulture WWE. And there's another lovely list on the screen. Please do give it a click. My name is Simon from WhatCulture, and thank you very much for watching and listening as always. Now go out there and have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you soon.